And welcome back, Melrose. We're here for another Middlesex League Showdown versus the 7-3 Melrose Red Raiders. Goes on and faces
5-3 Melrose Red Raiders.
Are you sure it's not
as
7?
Of now.
Are you sure it's not 7?
Yes.
5-3 Melrose Red Raiders takes on the Wilmington Wildcats, which their record is unknown. And number 22, Luka Vlakovic, captain, and number 22 from Wilmington, Andrew Munsey, senior, go for the tip. And Luka gets the tip and passes it to Charlie Borstel, who gives it right to Ryan Marr at the top of the key. Finds Brandon McSorley, who gives it to Robert Wiesen, who is back to Brandon McSorley, to Ryan Marr, to Charlie, to Luka, to Brandon McSorley underneath, and great ball movement.
Can't finish.
Great,
great pass by Luka to McSorley, who just missed the layup.
Great ball movement by this Melrose offense. And as Wilmington try to take an early lead by an early 3, and Charlie Borstel takes the ball, gets it back to Brandon McSorley, back to Charlie Borstel, back to Brandon McSorley, to Luka Vlakovic, who finds Ryan Marr wide open. He pulls up, and it is good.
Right off the bat, Captain Vlakovic has not one but two really good vision plays there.
Yeah, this ball movement from this Melrose offense is looking pretty smooth, in my opinion. And his number 14 is wide open in that historic left corner as Wilmington matches with a 3 of their own.
That sophomore Thomas Mallinson with the very quick release there on that 3.
Yeah, but Luka Vlakovic finds with a no-look pass to Brandon McSorley.
Wow.
So smooth, Lil Lou. You so smooth. Man, this is just, you're getting a little flashy in the beginning of the game. You know, that's kind of a high-risk, high-reward pass. You know, if you get the no-look pass and you get stolen, it's not looking good for you. But if you do manage to get it off, you have a cool little highlight play to put on your tape. And as number 14, it's ball in the left corner. And they call a travel on number 14.
I know what a travel is. That was a travel.
That was a travel indeed. Indeed.
So Luka already has 2 assists. Would have been 3 if it weren't for that little mishap at Brandon with the layup. That's all right, because Brandon makes it up with a 2-point layup right after that.
Oh, and this Wilmington defense is getting really aggressive, playing a full court press. You know, that's very dangerous for an explosive offense like Melrose. You know, people can get wide open and start scoring buckets like that. If I was the head coach, Dennis Ingram from Wilmington, I would not do that against this Melrose offense. I don't know. But Melrose is coming back with a full court press on their own, and they have to be careful because they kind of have some shooters. As Charlie Borstel gets the steal, who finds Ryan Marr one-on-one on the outlet, and they call it a blocking foul on. That seems to be number 3, Kevin Palmerio, the captain.
So right off the bat here, Melrose is showing a lot of explosiveness on their offense, led by Captain Luka here, who just gets fouled, and he's going to take it to the line, looking for his 3rd and 4th point.
Almost midway into this first quarter, Will. What do you predict the score to be like and how this game will unfold?
Well, if this game keeps the pace that it's been set at already, Melrose is going to have a nice dominant lead, and I predict they'll win by at least 15. Yeah,
and this Melrose team's taking an early lead so far. You know, a 5-point game, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it will extend to a longer lead if they keep up this high-powered offense and this lockdown defense. You know, just let up 1-3 from this Wilmington team, and you can't be too mad about threes because, you know, especially at this level, you don't find too many people who can shoot them at a high level. And as Luka's playing some good perimeter defense, showing that he's so versatile on the defensive end along with the offensive end. And number 22, guarded by number
ball, and then a great defensive effort by Brandon, who nearly got away with it.
Was that
Wilmington gets it right back.
I'm not sure if that was a block, but I don't know if he blocked or just straight missed the layup, but either way, good defense by Melrose.
So here's James McCarron at the line for Wilmington. No good. And no good again. But it's actually going to be an offensive rebound by himself. And Robert comes down with it. And passes to Ryan Marr, who finds Luka. Luca with good vision again finds Charlie. Tamar. Luca in the paint now. A really good pass by Rob, who can't come down with it. Loses footing, and it's going to be a turnover.
And wow, good defense by this Wilmington Wildcats defense. And as they take another three and goes in and out. As Ryan Marr, number 4, gets the rebound, passes to Luka Vlakovic. Luka Vlakovic crossover, finds Charlie Borstel, pump fake,
Nice
pulls up,
move.
and great move, but just horrible execution. As Robert Wiesen tries to get the rebound, and this Wilmington will have the ball down 3-8. And man, I just had to leave the mic for a little bit to go quench my thirst, but this orange soda is really good, Will. You have to go get some.
No, thank you. I just like to drink water.
Okay.
But speaking of water, we have Chris Paul, who just checked in.
Oh, Chris Paul, the lockdown man himself, number 21. Oh, and look who's on the court right now. I didn't even see it. Sneaky. Number 3 captain, Chris Cusalito. Welcome back, my man. Welcome back. You know, he just finished an amazing fall season and breaking home.
Nice three by Charlie Borstel.
Bringing home yet another state title to the football gods in Melrose. And now he's back on his winter grind, trying to win ring part 2.
Ooh.
And, you know, Chris got to be careful because if you didn't know, he fractured his fibula at the end of
22. Munzie sinks a 3 for Wilmington.
He fractured his fibula at the end of the playoffs in the football, and you know this is his first game back, and you know some of that explosiveness is gone, but he's making quick cuts like nobody's business. But Chris is just slow to start right now, but great defense by this Melrose team, and great defense by Chris Cusalito, and he just shows them that weight room strength when he grabs that ball, and I don't know if anyone can compete with it. You know, for someone as small as Kus, you wouldn't think he's that strong, but actually being an ex-football player myself, he tested some pretty high numbers in the bench. You know, I probably can't name 3 people who tested a higher bench than him. He's in like the 230s, 240 ranges,
wow,
which is pretty crazy for someone his size. So that just showed you that he's small, but he definitely got some strength to him. He's a big body. And
so there's a travel in Wilmington. There's not a lot of energy in this crowd right now because I think everybody knows who's really going to win this game, but that's all right.
yeah, but you got to be careful because that's when the upsets happen, when people get too complacent and just not even care.
Nice pass from captain to captain there.
And no look pass by Luka.
Wide open Chris Paul, and he's just 2 ahead.
Like
that's going to be a wasted opportunity.
Like I was saying, the no-look passes can be very dangerous as Luka hit another one, but just overshot Chris Paul by inches, and that led to a turnover. So not a smart play by Luka, but you can't blame him. His no-look passes are pretty deadly as Chris Paul gets the steal and goes up and around the rim, and they're saying that Wilmington has the ball now, which is crazy. And you can see Luka back, frustrated, and he just can't really believe what's going on right now.
He's already got 2 missed opportunities on what should be wide open layups, but
of course.
He still has 2 assists and 3 points, so he's not having a bad night by any means.
No, not by any means necessary at all. And this get a quick little defense chance going on from the bench, and this bench is pretty interesting. Led by Juice Man Jefferson, aka Andrew
Ooh,
Norton
a nice
Jefferson.
Rebound by Captain Cusalito.
Yeah, great rebound. The bench is getting a little
Finds
defense
a wide
chant.
open Charlie. Quickly gets covered. Trying to communicate on the offense here. Move the ball around. That's going to be a 3 for Cusalito.
Hey, Chris.
Back like he never left.
Wow. Amazing 3. And, the bench is just happy to see him back. But as we go in this timeout, we will see you when the ball gets back in play. And we're back, Melrose, as this Red Raiders team is leading the Wilmington Wildcats 14-6. Jeez, pardon me.
Well, it'll be 40 points soon at the rate this Melrose team's been on offense.
Yeah, I don't know what's in this soda, but it got me tripping, Will. I can't lie. I'm seeing things I'm not even supposed to be seeing right now. 14-6. Melrose Red Raiders up by 8. Yes, 8. Chris Cusalito, my bad, is just making defensive calls right now and clearly showing his presence as
a nice 3-point shot by Will Doucette, the sophomore for Wilmington.
Strong
cut Melrose's lead. Only 5. So Captain Luca trying to work out some offense against this very aggressive Wilmington defense. Make their way at the court.
You know, Charlie's pointing right.
Still all the way across the court. A lot of ball movement by Melrose offense here.
Charlie Borstel is just begging for the ball right now as he's wide open. And then the shot clock winds down and he takes it up and he is stuffed by about 3 Wildcats at the rim. And you can
tell he's in pain by the way he's running around.
Yeah, and stuff like that, you just gotta get something up because the clock was winding down. It's Chris Paul on the fast break and a little bit of hand action, and they call a charge. I think that's a charge. No, it's not a charging foul. It's a blocking foul. A little handsy there by Chris Paul, but he gets away with it. You can't be turning the ball over when the game is a 5-point game. It's only 2 possessions, 2 threes, and they're up now. So,
That's right. After 2 consecutive losses against tough teams, Melrose really needs to bounce back with an easy win tonight.
Yeah,
as Charlie just misses his 3-point shot.
Despite losing 2 games in a row, those are probably the 2 best teams in the Division II. And you really just can't blame this Melrose team. They hung in there, especially against Belmont. Belmont is considered one of the best teams in Division II, if not the best. And the game was down to the wire until about halfway into the 4th quarter. And, the Belmont team just took over and they ended up losing by, I think it was like 14. But, this team definitely has some potential to be a very, very strong candidate. As Chris Cusalito with the block. Okay. Yeah, man.
Something to get this crowd speaking already.
Yeah, something. It's just dead. Wilmington kind of gets a bad rep for being just not good at sports, but they're obviously showing this tough team some competition right now. And wow! And yet another 3-pointer.
So Makai, talking about Burlington, we're actually going to be streaming a game against Burlington, the last game of the season, I believe. And that's going to be only on MHS TV.
Only on MHS TV. And that's going to be a quite fun game to cover because, as Burlington and Melrose and Wakefield are looking for the top spot to the Middlesex League, that last game could decide who brings home the Middlesex League title. So I guess we'll see on that day. And as Melrose calls a timeout, and we'll be back when the ball comes back in play. All right, and we're back, Melrose. And, my bad. Where are my manners at? I'm Makai, and this is my friend Will.
Yeah, I'm Will.
Yeah, that's Will right there. And we're just bringing you the best high school coverage in all of Massachusetts. The best, the very best. And as this Melrose team is up by 5 and trying to make it up by 7, but Chris Paul.
Impressive layup there.
Trying to find a groove here.
Shot.
0 for 2, Chris Paul. Number 22. He's guarded by 22, and it almost hits one. Rebounded by Matt Morrissey, number 5. That's not number 5. Number 5 is the captain. He's number 10. Speaking of number 10, he gets the ball and gives it to number 5, who gives it back to 10, to Chris Paul, to the other Chris, to Luca, who takes it and gives it to Charlie Borstel wide open in the corner. And can he hit? No, he cannot.
Really wanted to hit that to get hot tonight because once he gets hot, he's going to keep hitting them and hitting them.
That's what they talk about, the volume shooters. And the shot clock is winding down. And Chris Cusalito is trying to make something happen with a nice jump shot, and he cannot get it, but rebounded by Chris Paul as he goes up. And
that's going to be the quarter.
That will be the quarter. And Melrose, we will be back for the second quarter coverage of this Melrose basketball game. I will be right back. All right, and we're back, Melrose, as the captain, Charlie Borstel, is trying to find a groove here, and I think he's 0 for 2, 0 for 3 maybe?
No, he did hit a 3 earlier. I believe he's 1 for 3.
1 for 3, that's what it was. He hit a pretty good 3, but, trying to find something hot. And can I get a score check right now for the box score check? My bad.
So we have Luca, Ryan Marr, Charlie Borstel, and Chris Cusalito all with 3 points. Okay. And Brandon has 2 points.
Okay. I think our predictions are looking to be kind of wrong for a high-scoring game from this Melrose team. But, anything can happen. But it's looking really slow right now. And as Brandon McSorley
pick up the pace with that shot.
Yeah, the infamous 3. He'll kill you with that corner 3. Playing wide ball with him, he's a force to be reckoned with from that corner, Will.
For any fans watching Melrose in the playoffs last year, you may remember Brandon had some really explosive games where he would hit 3 after 3 from the corner.
Yeah.
That's going to be travel on Wilmington.
Brandon not being a top scorer on this Melrose team, he definitely should not be overlooked. Definitely shouldn't be overlooked. As Luka getting the ball, trying to make something happen. Charlie has it now, who gives it back to Ryan Marr, who gives it back to Luka, back to Ryan Marr, to Charlie wide open, but sends it to Luka Vlahovic's way, and he's trying to get the ball, and Luka's trying to use his big body, trying to box him out and trying to get the ball. But a 2-on-1 fast break, and they call out on Melrose, which is a pretty questionable call, but, you know, in a situation like that, you just give it to the person with the ball because you can't really see who really touched it. And unfortunately, we're not afforded the luxury.
That was a missed call. That was definitely a travel. I could see it from here.
Yeah, I know. I'm just getting weird vibes from this game. Like, the crowd isn't up at all. The game is relatively close, but I think people are just thinking that this Melrose team is just going to roll over this Wilmington team. Even though if that may be the case, you can't sleep on a team.
Yeah,
Never.
I think the problem is the crowd is just so quiet. There's really no energy. I think we need a big play by Robert Wiesen,
maybe,
who hits his first layup of the night.
Maybe a couple claps, no, but that's just how it is. That's just how it is. As they call I don't know what they called, but I think this Melrose team will have the ball back. Oh, nope, Wilmington has the ball. Number 2 takes the ball up, finds it at number 23. Stolen by Luka Vlahovic. 2-on-2 fast break. Gives it to Charlie wide open. He sacrifices a shot for even a better shot to Luka Vlahovic as he takes it in and draws a foul, I think. Yep, and that'd be 2 shots from the line of free throw line. Free throw line.
All right, so get your free throw shots, guys. All right, so Alex, you're going to zoom all the way in on Luka.
So Luka's been really a keystone of this offense, working the paint. He's already got 2 or 3 assists tonight. Looking for his 4th point.
That's fine, Alex. That's good. Nice.
And he does not get it. The bench cheering on Luka, just giving him some good support. And last time we covered a home game from Melrose, they were playing this Wakefield team, and the free throws were a problem for Luka in the beginning, going 0 for 3, but he did pick it up and then made 6 in a row.
Great defense by Brandon McSorley and Charlie Rostel, I believe.
On a steal
but even better defense by Wilmington. He's going to draw an and one and keep them in the game. Looking to cut the lead down to only 3 points.
I'm looking at the score right now. The scoreboard isn't really doing anything right now, but they're trying to make this a 5-point game, I think. I think the score, 19-13, here we go. But they're trying to make it.
A lot of frustration on the Melrose side.
All right, and we're back, Melrose, and, as this timeout ensued, the Melrose head coach, Daniel Burns, was kind of frustrated at this Melrose offense as Ryan Marr was stripped, and whoever stripped him made the and one and misses the free throw, fortunately for Melrose. But this coach was definitely not happy at Ryan Marr. And I had some inside intel from the basketball team. And as Charlie hits a 3, and I think he's getting hot, Will. And when he gets hot, he's hot, Will. It's different. But like I was saying, getting some inside knowledge from the basketball team, that Belmont game that was pretty close until the wire, people were saying that, number 4, Ryan Marr, was having trouble with the ball security. So maybe that was just a point of emphasis going into this game, and seeing Ryan Marr getting stripped is just not a good sight for Coach Burns, not a good sight at all.
No, very visible frustration going into that timeout back there. But here's Melrose with a nice 9-point lead as they try and stop Wilmington here.
Yeah, going into this game, a lot of people had high expectation for this Melrose team. A lot of people just saying that this Melrose team was going to win, and the score shouldn't be how it should be. This Melrose team is seemingly too complacent at this right now, seeming too lax and laid back. You know, the coach is obviously frustrated because this score shouldn't be nearly as close as it is right now. And as Robert Wiesen, sneaky, had a wide open layup and misses it, but gets his own rebound.
And gets the layup for his 4th point of the night.
Wow. Robert Wiesen slowly climbing up to the top of the box score, slowly but surely.
Yeah, that was after another great assist by Luka Vlahovic, who maybe doesn't have a lot of points tonight, but he's still doing a lot on the offensive side.
And as Charlie Borstel, looking at the box score, leads the team in points right now with 6, with 2 threes. Hopefully he can tack on some more. And looking at the press box right now, I see Matt Morrissey, Chris Paul, Juice Man Jefferson, and Chris Cusalito looking to be checked in. Let's see what they can do. Maybe AJ will bring some energy to this crowd. You know, the crowd loves AJ, so.
That is right. They need something to wake them up here. You'd think Melrose was losing by the way they're so quiet, but Melrose is actually up 11.
That's pretty interesting.
So hopefully we get some energy here as 4 new players sub in.
Yeah, you know, nothing fuels the engine more than an underdog story. And you can clearly see this in this Wilmington team. And they definitely came to play. Very aggressive, very fast paced. You know, they just want to win this game and just show the Middlesex League why they aren't just someone to be stepped over. And this Melrose team, combined with them just not really seeing them as like a true opponent, I think this is the reason why this game is so close. You know, you never want to underestimate your opponent, never. And
now, we do have to give Melrose some credit. It is an 11-point game. It just doesn't feel like that with this low-energy crowd. And that's going to be a out on Wilmington.
Yep.
So Luka Vlahovic is going to inbound it to AJ. Finds Luka to Chris Paul. He's going to take a jump shot. Rebounded by Matt Morrissey. Finds Luka. Chris Cusalito now finds Chris Paul in the corner. Back to Chris Cusalito. To Morrissey. Cusalito now. Chris Paul goes up for the layup.
Oh,
and just
missed. And, you know, Chris Paul is not looking too hot right now as he's 0 for 3 on the offensive end. Not doing bad on the defensive end. You know, not allowing too many points. But offensively, he's not really hot right now. But, you know, you do have to cut him some slack. He is a sophomore in this program. It's his first year playing on this Melrose team. So, you know, you just got to cut him a little bit of slack, just learning things. And, you know, hopefully by the time he's a senior, he's getting buckets just like his big bro captain, Luka Vlahovic. And as number 2, Thomas Mallison takes up the ball. Great move on Chris Cusalito, and he pulls up and almost hits the 3. You know, it was a good look from up here, but luckily for Melrose, the shot doesn't sink in, and a great fake by Chris and AJ and by Luka, and Chris takes it and gets blocked by number 2.
You can tell Chris Cusalito still just isn't quite himself because you know the athlete that he is would not normally get blocked if it wasn't for this lingering injury.
Yeah, you can tell he's in pain. When he landed on that right foot, you know, the right leg, he was just like, you know. He was.
You could see him wincing in pain.
Yeah, that's just how it is. Chris Cusalito inbounds the ball, who gives it to Matt Mo, who gives it to Luka Vlahovic, who's trying to direct some traffic here, has some good ball handler moves.
Oh, he's going to lose the ball there. And come down with it. I think he did that on purpose, Makai. It was all a diversion.
I think that was a great play executed by Coach Burns, and I think that was an and one call, which is kind of crazy because you couldn't tell by the crowd that was an and one. So just to show you how dead this crowd is right now. Luka Vlahovic, I think he has 5 points on the night, trying to make it 6, and he does.
No, I believe he's going to start hitting a lot more free throws. In the beginning of the games, he usually misses a few here and there, but then once he gets in his rhythm, he's really going to keep hitting them one after another.
Yep. And I think this Melrose team has found the solution to this dry spell they were in the beginning of the second quarter and the end of the first quarter. You know, I think you just have to run the offense through Luka. As you can see on that last possession, as he was pretty much running the point guard position, he seemed to create his own plays. And I think this is the strength of this team, is that you have someone of Luka's stature who can make plays just as easily as a point guard. And there aren't too many teams in the Middlesex that can guard that. So I think you should play to your advantage.
Nice rebound by Morrissey, who finds Luka.
Speaking of, as he's making his own plays, as he goes up in a great move, but even a greater rebound by AJ.
Finally, some noise from the crowd as a favorite player, AJ.
Oh, man. You got to love Juice Man, Will. You got to love Juice Man.
That was another assist by Captain Luka Vlakovic, who's really capitalizing off of this size advantage he has.
AJ waving his hand, trying to get someone. Great move by Chris Paul, and he finally gets his first points of the night as he's 1 for 4 from the field. And, you know, this offense is heating up just like I was to be expected it to be. 31 points right now, and I think, if I'm doing the math correctly, they've had 17 this quarter so far, and Chris Paul gets his
4 on the night.
Man, second straight shot in a
great
row,
pass.
and this offense is hot. Wilmington had to call a timeout because you don't want this Melrose team to get hot. And as they call the timeout, we'll be back with the high school sports coverage. All right, you know, having some jokes up here in the press box. Shout out the press box team. Shout out Ricky, you know, doing his thing on the sound management.
So it seems like Melrose is really starting to take the lead here, really assert dominance, and it seems almost every point is going through Captain Vlakovic as he has several assisted points tonight.
Yeah, I know Lucas is the, you know, I know Luka, they say on Mass Basketball Stats that he's the best center in D2, but he's looking like a point guard tonight. And as they sat him, as he was really just getting hot right now, and interesting call by Coach Burns. But, you know, 1 minute left in the second quarter, you know, gotta give some more rest for an action-packed second half, maybe. And this Wilmington team failed to even crack 7 points, maybe, this quarter. I'm trying to remember what the score was at the end of the first.
Yeah, they just now cracked 7 this
Yep,
quarter.
it was 14-9, and they just got 7 points, looking to make it 8 points this quarter. And they could not, and as Charlie Borstel gets the rebound, he takes it up the middle of the court and is being double-teamed by 2 Wilmington kids, but he does not care. He has the handles to stop that. And as Chris Kuzlito is wide open, pump fakes, great move, gives it to Andrew Norton Jefferson, and he goes up, and he almost gets it, and they get it over the back foul on Andrew Norton Jefferson. But this crowd and the bench are not messing with that, Will. Definitely not. You know, you just gotta love the enthusiasm from AJ. You know, he's just so full of energy and just wants to get a bucket so bad. You know, he'll go as far as jumping on someone's back just to get his own rebound. So you can't knock the hustle at all, Will. Not at all.
That's right.
Wilmington hits the free throw. Didn't know the Wilmington had the bonus already, but that just goes to show you how foul-driven this game is right now. I'm sorry.
So he's going to hit both free throws here.
It's Chris Paul looking to make something happen. Gives it to Charlie Borstel, who finds Chris Kuzlito on the left wing, who gets AJ. Back to Charlie, back to Kuz, who finds Brandon in the corner. Don't leave him open. Oh, my God,
Wow.
Brandon.
He's going to make you regret that.
You smooth man, Brandon. You smooth man. And as Brandon takes the lead to the top of the scorebox, and he gets a tip pass, and great effort from these past 2 possessions from Brandon McSorley, as he has 8 points on the night, you know, which is pretty good right now in the first half of the game. You know, on pace statistically to drop 16 points, which is a pretty solid night, especially for someone who isn't the first scoring option on the team. As AJ with some great defense, the layup is rebounded by Charlie as he goes coast to coast and finds Brandon.
A beautiful pass to Brandon, who gets double digits on the night.
Maybe the offense should start running through Brandon because he's actually doing really well these past 3 possessions, one being a tip pass and then 2 of them ending up in buckets. And Kuzlito tries a back tip, number 3, the captain, and great pass by him on the corner, and is knocked down by number 14.
Impressive play by Wilmington.
Number 14, Jenna Sweeney. That is the wrong list, ladies and gentlemen. Denzio Recuperio. Oh, man. You should never mix the girls' varsity list with the boys' varsity list, ladies and gentlemen.
Big mistake.
Big mistake. Oh, and
then Kuzlito's going to lose the ball again. You can see visible frustration. That's all right.
Yeah, you know, legs, like lower body injuries, like injuries that affect your athleticism, you know, they can be pretty frustrating.
Especially as a player like Cusalito who really relies on that quickness.
Yeah. And as this first half is coming to a close, Melrose is up 38-21, looking to extend the lead more. I'm your host, Makai.
And I'm Will Durant.
And we'll be back for the second half of this basketball matchup.
And we're back, Melrose. My name is Ricky. I'm taking over.
All right, and we're back, Melrose, as we're getting to a high-action Melrose offense. And speaking of, Robert Wiesen with a 6th point of the night.
I'll jot that down.
All right, this Melrose team is up 40-21. You know, kind of the score we were expecting from this Melrose team, so I'm glad to see them playing to their full potential. And look at Blakovich with the block. Man, that man definitely getting in.
Luke has been playing fantastic tonight, all over the board with points, assists, blocks. Really impactful player tonight.
Just an all-around bucket. That's what the hip kids would say.
Yep.
Luka Vlakovic. Once again, Luka Vlakovic finds
Good
Robert
vision.
Wiesen.
Speaking of good vision, decent pass by Robert and a great hustle play by Brandon, but it's no good as Wilmington has a nice offensive drive here.
Great move by number 3, the captain, who gives it a 14, gives it back to 2 at the top of the arc, and finds number 3 in the left corner, who takes a couple of dribbles and pulls up and misses it, but gets his own rebound.
Nearly.
Almost.
We both fell for that one.
Yeah, I know.
It's actually going to be rebounded by Ryan
Pulling
Marr.
up. Ooh,
Finds
Great
Luka.
move by Luka, and great hustle by Luka
Oh.
as he goes between 2 defenders, and they call out of bounds. They called out of bounds on Luka. This Wilmington team will get the ball back, but great hustle by Luka Vlakovic. You know, as he loses the ball, you know, a lot of people will just get frustrated and just flail their arms everywhere and just, you know, whatever happens, happens. Luka actively tries to save the ball and just tries to make a play. You know, never
That's
giving
right.
up.
Last week he was a little bit of turnover problem last week against Belmont, but he's definitely cleared up all of that.
Yeah, you know,
He's had a phenomenal night so far with great hustle too.
Yeah, you know, I think the turnover problem did have a factor on the Melrose loss. But, you know, in a game like that, there's a lot of fingers you can point to towards why they lost the game. You know, it isn't only just on one person.
One finger you can definitely point to is Luka tonight for why they have a 16-point lead. Make that 19 as Brandon McSorley hits his 13th point of the night.
Yeah, I think the finger should be pointing at Brandon McSorley. You know, 13 points right now is really good.
It is really good, Makai.
Indeed, Will. Indeed.
Nice block. It's gonna be a foul.
Foul. Interesting call. Interesting
I'm
call.
just as surprised as Robert Wiesen is.
Yeah.
Seems to be shocked at that call.
You know, they're not too mad. You know, if this was a game like that was a Wakefield close game, they wouldn't.
Or any close game.
Or any close game ever, they wouldn't
Against
really
any
care. But when you're up by
competent
19, who really cares, man? Come on.
That was some good math, Makai.
Yeah. Shout out Miss Van Blennis. And it's number 23. James McCarron hits the 3. All right, just making sure this is the boys list. Girls list is over there. Speaking of, MHS TV will be live for the girls game against Wilmington later tonight at 7. So stay tuned for that.
There's a Wiesen wide open layup. That's actually going to be his 8th point of the night, having a career night for him.
Wow, who would have thought Brandon McSorley and Robert Wiesen would have been the leading scorers for tonight?
That's the thing about this Melrose offense. Anyone can be the hero.
Anyone. And speaking of hero, Chris Cusalito, kind of slow on the night. You know, first game back. You don't expect him to be dropping 20 points out straight out the
Forstel
bat.
really wanted that.
And a great move.
That's going to be a nice offensive charge.
You know,
Excuse me, yeah.
seeing Charlie on that fast break reminded me of a promise he made to me earlier that him or Luka were going to dunk the ball. So hopefully we can see this in the second half. You know, I've never got to cover a dunk live, but I did see Chris Paul on the layup lines dunk before the start of the second half. Something I didn't know Chris Paul could do was someone who's only maybe like 5'11", 6 foot tall. So good for him. Really good for him.
A dunk would be really nice for Melrose right now to wake up this crowd. You'd never guess that they were up by 19 points with how this crowd's been reacting. The team itself has been absolutely dominant. Has a nice pass by Brandon to Marr, who nearly sinks the three. It's going to be rebounded by Wilmington.
Ryan Marr, another great three-point shooter. He just couldn't find the way to get that ball in.
So that's a not-so-great shot there by Wilmington. Marr finds Borstel for the jumper, and easy.
That is just money. Just so cash. Don't leave Charlie open from that close to the rim. You know, that's pretty much almost a guaranteed 2 points, as Melrose is up by 21 points in the second half. I think I need to lay off the orange shoulder, Will. Oh, and a great block by Luka Vlahovic, as he's just adding to more stats.
All over the board. He's got blocks, he's got assists, he's got points, he's got steals.
Oh, man. And he's got some drip, too, looking at his shoes. He has some nice blue shoes.
Baby blue shoes you can see from a mile away.
Yeah. Really flashy, very flashy. His number 11 is wide open in the corner, but fails to come down with it. And Melrose ball. And his number 10, Matt Morrissey, who is scoreless on the night, is taking the ball to Chris Paul. Dunking man. Gives it to Chris Cusilito, who gives it to the other captain, Luka Vlahovic, who finds Chris Paul and Charlie Borstel in the corner. And Charlie goes up and dunks the ball.
For no good.
Yeah, man, but, you know, he gave me the dunk he promised me, so shout out you, Charlie. Only if the dunk counted, it would have been something. This crowd would have been slightly
reacting, hopefully.
It would have been slightly more active than it is right now. Let's see if he can get another one. But great steal and great move as he goes up. And this is blocked by Chris Paul. And Chris Paul
said, "Wake up."
Chris Paul sends the ball to the other court. And number 21 is just embarrassed right now, you know, losing by 21.
I'm embarrassed for him, even though number 3 took the shot, I believe.
Yeah, number 3, yeah. You know, that's embarrassing, you know, losing by 21. You're on the road, and another block by Luka Vlahovic.
Gosh.
And right now, I think Luka has more blocks than he has assists right now, which is kind of crazy to think about and shows you how dominant Luka Vlahovic can be on both ends of the court. And as Charlie
nice
Borstel
board by
gets the
Borstel,
rebound,
fights for it, and comes down with it.
Charlie showing that weight room strength from his former football days as a defensive end. And Luka Vlahovic, great spin move, and tries to find it out to Chris Cusilito, but I think they call a foul. I think it's a reaching foul, actually, and Luka Vlahovic will not go to the line. Matt Morrissey, number 10, will inbound the ball.
After 2 back-to-back blocks by Melrose, you'd think someone in the crowd would react.
And Charlie Borstel hits the 3, and here's the Charlie we've been looking for all year, because he is red hot from the three-point line, making 3 of his last 4 right now, as Charlie Borstel has 11 points right now. And you know, great move by number 3, but unfortunately he cannot get the ball in. Charlie Borstel was wide open again.
And you know what he was going to do.
You know what he was going to do.
The rim is thankful for that whistle.
Yes. Oh, man. Well, you're a jokester. You're a jokester, Will. You know, we have fun here, though.
Yeah, that's right. We do. We have
fun.
fun. Shout out to Jackson's moms for mom for the cookies.
Thank you, Mrs. Textera.
Here's Luka alone at the line, looking for his, I believe, 7th point of the night.
And he does get it. It's kind of weird because seeing Luka dominate on the other end of the ball, you kind of forget that Luka is a dominant scorer right now in this game, especially because he only has 7 points, but now 8 right now. So he's kind of creeping up on the scoreboard. But
here come AJ and Andrew Buchain, checking out both captains. Actually, Cusilito remains in, but Borstel and Vlahovic are going to take a seat now.
Yeah, I'm kind of forgetting we have 3 captains. It's weird to see number 3, Chris Cusilito, back up on the court. But, you know, great to see him back just playing, just getting the hang of things. First game of the season for him, so can't expect too much from him. You know, he just has to just learn the new rhythm. And it's a new coach, so it's a new, you know, style of basketball, so, you know, has to get ready for that. And as you see, the girls varsity Wilmington team about to go up for warm-ups. Just make sure you stay tuned for the girls varsity game at 7 o'clock from MHS TV, the best sports coverage in all of Melrose.
What's crazy to see is how late we are in this game and how Melrose still has double the points of Wilmington.
Aggressive rebound from AJ. Aggressive rebound. And an overshoot by Chris Paul, who finds Chris, who finds Juice Man, who gives it to Matt Moe, who gives it to Chris Cusolito, and he takes it up, and he cannot get it. You know, I'm looking at Chris Cusolito jog right now. He's definitely out of shape from just not being able to run for the past 3 months, I believe, 3 months. So I'm not surprised that he's huffing and puffing down this court. But you don't expect it for long. Chris Cusolito is just a natural bred athlete, so he'll get in the hang of things soon. Maybe not this game, but in the upcoming games, I doubt he'll ever play like this. As Bouchane gets the ball, who finds Juice Man, who pump fakes, gives it to Chris Paul, who gives it to Matt Moe, who gives it to Chris Cusolito, pump fake, finds Bouchane, and Bouchane finds Chris Paul wide open in the corner,
Paul.
and
He's gonna miss 3.
And I'll get it
Nice
down.
offensive board by Bouchane,
And
who's
the
gonna
ball-
turn it over.
And as number 2 tries to do it all by himself, he goes up and the ball goes
Nice
underneath
board
the
by
net.
AJ. Chris
Nice.
Paul backpedaling, looking for the ball. As Cusolito drives forward.
Oh, when
A
Chris Paul goes
beautiful
up,
pass
and
by
a-
Morrissey.
And a lot of contact from number 22. Fouls the ref. I would have called the foul, but, you know, maybe number 22 needs to hit the weight room more because this Chris Paul, man, he's a big body.
We've seen some fantastic assists from Melrose tonight.
Great assist, great assist.
No looks and other assists
Other assists, such as regular chest passes. Those
like
are-
that.
Yes, like that. And like that. That's not a chest pass, but that's just a pass. And that's also a pass to Chris Cusolito, and he gets it in
Sinks
for the 3.
And you can see the crowd finally waking up, the bench happy.
And Luka is just happy to see his captain
All
friend.
smiles in Melrose.
Yeah, all smiles as this Melrose team is up by 27 right now, and we'll be back for the rest of this third quarter matchup. Oh, more jokes from the press box. Shout out the press box, you know. Just having fun here. As Wilmington trying to come back, you know, in their desperate attempts to try to win this game. And it's great defense by number 11, you know, a little handsy on the offensive end, but, you know, that's just the nature of the game.
So
it gets aggressive sometimes.
you can see a big difference in the two teams here as both a player from each team fell to the ground. Chris Paul had 2 Melrose teammates helping him up as the Wilmington player had no help up. And that just shows the brotherhood that Melrose has formed this season.
Yeah, you know.
Beautiful pass by Cusolito.
Great.
Shane was looking for his first point of the night. And you
then-
can see the visible frustration in the bench as they wanted to see their good
You know,
friend,
I'm
Shane,
looking
hit
at
his
this
first
Wilmington roster right now, and they're pretty young. They only have about 3 seniors on their team right
They're
now.
also very short.
Yeah, you know, they still give them some time to grow, but they only have 3 seniors on this team right now. And, you know, maybe this just could be only the beginning of what could be a dominant Wilmington run in the future. But, you know, a lot of young guys, and, you know, for every, you know, the saying goes, for every sophomore you start, expect a loss. You know, that's in all aspects of the game. You know, offense, defense, you know, they're still young, trying to figure out what's going on. Oh, and the clock is winding out.
The quarter is coming to an end here. Cusolito's just going to chuck it up.
And air ball on Chris. And this Melrose team is up 57-30. And meanwhile, we'll be back for the fourth quarter. Melrose, as this fourth quarter ensues, and Melrose is up 57-30.
A lot
as
of new faces for this Melrose team.
the number
Hooper
33.
Ward, Cam Lippy,
Number
Max
3,
Kirby all in.
Cameron Lippy. Freshman Cam Lippy, looking very tall on that court right there, and seeing that grade 9 next to his name kind of frightens me because in 3 years, who knows how tall he'll be. And crowd is pretty quiet right now, but, you know, not much to cheer for when you're up by 27, right, Will?
That's right.
And his number 10 finds number 14. Gives it a 34 with a nice spin move, and he pulls up and does not hit it, but not the smartest shot selection. But when you're down by as much as you're down by, you know, anything.
It doesn't matter.
Anything. They need anything. You know, 7 minutes, 26 seconds left in the game. You know, all hope isn't lost, but it's getting pretty close to that point. So you just got to get desperate here. As Chris Cusolito finds,
There's
finds
Kirby on the
Lippy.
turnover there.
Kirby, infamous for the turnovers.
Ooh. So that's the theme of the night for Wilmington, as they just keep missing shots.
Oh man, just
They're really beating themselves tonight. This is bad. What is that?
I think you call that a shot, Will, but not really a shot, and not. This is getting really. This game is getting really weird, Will. As they're up by 27.
Just got a lot sloppier.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. I don't see a single senior on this court besides Chris Cusolito. And
He's kind of exempt because he's coming back from a terrible leg injury.
so yeah, we have a whole bunch of young guys.
Working his way back into this.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of young guys, first-year players, minus Chris Cusolito, just like on this team, and really trying to get in the hang of things, but they really can't right now.
So here's Cusolito on the line. He's hit 2 huge three-point shots tonight.
Let's see if he can tack on 2 more free throws. Can he? 1, maybe. He hit 1. Can he make 2? Or will he stay at 7 points right now? He dribbles the ball. He dribbles the ball again. Dribbles the ball a 3rd time. And he gets it. 8 points on the night. Chris Cusolito, congratulations for the 8 points. Let's see if he can make it 10 on the next drive. Oh, great step by number 10.
This is going to be inbounded by number 4. Denizio Recupero.
Oh, great block from the 6'8" freshman.
Oh, Bouchane's going to get fouled. He's going to go to the line looking for his first points of the night, I believe.
Let's see.
Really hope he hits one of these. Keep an eye on that Melrose bench, as they'll get really electric if he finds his first points of maybe the season. I'm not sure if he's clocked in any yet.
Yeah, I don't know, but if he does right now, we'll keep eye on that bench as he takes it up. And it goes in, and the bench is ecstatic right now. They are just going crazy for Bouchain. Good to see a team that always applauds their teammates for doing well, especially when you're not getting the most minutes on the team. As Wilmington gets the rebound, the ball's almost stolen, and man, 30 points, 30-point lead. It's kind of fascinating to see the skill gap between these two teams. One team kind of at the bottom of the Middlesex League right now, in the bottom tier, and you see Melrose trying to contend for a championship right now. You can obviously see the clear differences in their game. Melrose's offense is
good board by Cusolito.
Yeah.
Speeds his way down the court.
And
No call.
Interesting no call, but like I was saying, this Melrose team has a pretty deadly offense once it can get going, and a lockdown defense, to say the least.
Chris Cusolito finally finds the bench after a pretty successful first game back.
Probably checking out for the last time of the night. He finishes with 8 points on the night. Now they're just resting their starters and just see.
Boom.
Oh, man. Cameron Lippy.
That's Max Kirby.
That was lit. Oh.
That was Max Kirby with a nice three-point shot.
Oh, man.
This will look very easy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's in the soda, man. I don't know. I thought it was Lippy. I don't know. I thought I saw a 33.
Lippy's a little bit taller.
Yeah, just by a little bit.
So here is Denizio Recupero, who finds 1.
Yeah, right now they're just playing all their young guys right now, just resting their starters, and then see if they can just get some early rest for their next matchup against, I believe it is, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I think it's Winchester, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's a W team, maybe Woburn.
It's a team that Melrose has said they can definitely beat and should come out with a win.
Yeah, so there's a lot of teams in the Middlesex League like that. One of them not being is Watertown, pretty much at the top of the Middlesex League along with Burlington. So let's see when they play them how that will go.
So there's Lippy with the shot. All right, so they're going to play Stoneham next game.
A Stoneham rematch, but this is on the road at Stoneham, I'm pretty sure.
And then what?
And then next Friday, they play Watertown.
We're going to be live streaming that.
You're definitely going to be covering that Watertown game, as that will be
Looking
quite...
for some revenge after they definitely got blown out last time they played Watertown.
Yeah, this will definitely be quite the showdown, as, you know, I don't have to play this game, but Watertown beat Wakefield and Melrose beat Wakefield. No,
Watertown beat Melrose.
And then Watertown beat Melrose. I think it was Watertown lost to Wakefield. Melrose lost to Watertown, and then Melrose beats Wakefield.
There you go.
So, you know, I don't want to play that type of game. You know, the math doesn't really usually add up. But when you do play it, it kind of seems like it's going to be an interesting matchup next Friday against, obvious travel. You know, this Melrose team is just great, man. It's just great.
Melrose is gaining a lot of momentum these next few games as they take down Wilmington tonight by a wide margin. And then they're going to be playing the local
Spartans, Stoneham Spartans, right down the street.
The team that loses.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too early to jump the gun on that because I remember
this Wilmington team's only win was against Stoneham.
Oh, wow. So, man.
And this Wilmington team is losing by 33 after Lippy finds his first score of the night, I believe.
Yeah, so I don't know, but I can't wait to cover that Watertown game because that's going to be quite the showdown, as Melrose has seen dramatic improvement in their play since that Watertown game to right now. So
with their starters out tonight, they were like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, so
everyone having a key part. Brandon McSorley, threes from the corner. Luka Vlakovic, no-look assists.
Yeah.
Really dominant performance by the entire Melrose team tonight.
Yeah, I'm just glad to see Charlie back in his rhythm like I see him at the local YMCA. So hopefully he'll be a threat from behind the arc in upcoming games. As Chris Paul is back in the game.
Here's Kirby, finds Bouchane. And a three-point shot by a Hooper who's just going to miss a little.
Number 4, the moment he takes it up, and a great steal by Chris Paul as his fourth quarter unwinds and gives it to Bouchane, and he gets the buckets. And I'm not keeping track of the box score right now, but I believe that's his 4th point of the night.
We knew it would be a blowout tonight. I was expecting about 15 points, but I couldn't have been more wrong, as Melrose has a lead of 36 with 4 minutes left.
That's great math, Will. I could never do math like that, Will. Maybe they can make it 40 right now and making this the widest margin of victory this school's had in a while, actually. You know, thinking back to these past 2 years, I don't think there's been a team that they beat of this magnitude if it was a 40-point victory.
Keep in mind, they don't have any starters out there at this point. I believe Chris Paul may have started.
Chris Paul did not start.
Chris Paul did not start.
He did not start. Chris Paul did not start. But he did play some significant time in the first quarter, so you can call him like a 6th or 7th-ish man.
So here's AJ about to check in. He had a big impact tonight.
Of course.
And it's going to be Chris Paul subbing out for the remainder of the night.
Yeah. You know, interesting to see all these young guys on the court right now, as 5 of these seniors on the Melrose team won't come back next year, unfortunately. So you kind of give it a glimpse on how this team works together in a game on the varsity level. And as Bouchane passes to number 20, Hooper Ward, he tries to find Juice Man, but it's just not connecting right now. And you're not really expecting much from a team this young. You know, they have so much time to grow, especially the freshman Lippy. So you just got to take it with a grain of salt.
So there's a shot just chucked up at this point. Wilmington just wants to go home. This game seems to be taking forever.
Yeah, it seems pretty slow. These are probably the slowest 6 minutes in my life. There's Boucher.
Nice take by Boucher. It goes in and out.
And this crowd needs something to get hype as I can.
Good hustle.
You can hear him slide across the floor, and that's going to definitely hurt in the morning.
Coach is going to see that in film, and he's going to say, you know what, Boucher, you're out there hustling when the game's clearly over. Let me reward you with some playing time.
Hopefully. And, you know, you love to see a good hustler on the court, you know, especially in a game like this when the game is pretty much over. Seeing him die for a loose ball like that is a very good character trait you would like to see in your teammates.
Coach definitely wants players with hustle like that.
Yep. You know, because that's something you definitely can't teach is hard work and dedication. So seeing someone who already possesses those traits is just a plus for him. And, you know, just another piece in the Coach Burns empire.
A nice shot by number 2, Thomas Mallinson, the sophomore. Nice move by Hooper.
Ward.
And he tries to pass to Lippy, who wasn't ready for it.
As this game is unwinding, Wilmington just trying to get some shots up.
Oh, nearly a nice move by Kirby, but it's going to cost them.
And a great block by Boucher.
Boucher comes in to save the day.
Man, that was a great block. That was definitely something the crowd needed to get hyped, just to stay entertained in this game. You know, he came out of nowhere. I actually didn't see him. I would have thought he was flying if you would have told me.
He's given a lot of good looks tonight in these last few minutes of the game. And that's not a very good shot.
Not at all. But, you know, when you're down by 33, not much you can do.
I was hoping to see Melrose reach 70 points tonight. Not sure if that'll happen. AJ's going to inbound it.
Maybe they can. Maybe they can.
He's going to head to the free throw line.
Maybe they can get to 70 points. You know, it's been a while since I've seen an 80-point Melrose game. You know, it doesn't look very likely.
I've never seen an 80-point Melrose game.
You know, it doesn't seem pretty likely right now, but maybe in the Stoneham matchup, as they scored a lot of points. I think it was in the mid to high 60s right now against Stoneham. Maybe they'll drop an 80-point game, but in the school's history, it's only probably happened a few times, and I can probably only think back to when they had Tamari on the team. So maybe. I think his infamous 40-point game.
So none other than Juice Man here. He's going to hit the – nope, he's going to miss the free throw.
So he misses both free throws. As
Wilmington player loses footing.
And great steal by Boucher. And Boucher on the fast break goes up and almost hits it.
That's going to hurt.
That's definitely going to hurt. But,
he's really sacrificing a lot right now. You
know, being Boucher right now, probably this is going to be your – you're not really – you have limited minutes right now on this Melrose team. In a game like this is definitely your time to shine. So I'm glad to see him taking every minute to his advantage and just really just laying it all out there on the line as he has, I think, 6 points on the night right now. So good for Boucher, good for Boucher. And let's see if he can make it 70, and yes, he can.
There we go.
Yes, he can. 70-35. Melrose is up by 35 points. This Wilmington team is trying to get something. You know, the game is basically over. So they're trying to see what they can do. So with 56 seconds left, this Melrose team is just trying to wrap it up and just trying to see what they can get ready for Stoneham next Tuesday. And then we're back on Friday for the matchup of the week, honestly. This is going to
be a really fun one. And I don't think that one will end 70-35.
No, absolutely not. And, you know, they lost by 27 last time against Watertown, but like I was saying, this is a very different Melrose team from earlier in the season. And I just can't wait to see how they match up against Watertown again. And honestly, Melrose and Watertown seem to have a history of having very close games at home. You know, thinking back to the year before and the overtime thriller against Watertown, you know, it almost ended in a buzzer beater. Being in the crowd, you know, I was almost ready to run off on the court and then just hug Luka, but, you know, fortunately he couldn't get the ball up in time and, you know, overtime happened. But they ended up going with the win, so that's just how it is. And 55, Kirby can't get it, but
Nice
Andrew Norton
board.
Jefferson gives it to Hooper, who is the bucket, and he almost gets it, but it's rebounded again by AJ, and AJ just showing his dominance on the court and in the paint. Who sees
wants
Hooper,
it.
and
Risky play, though.
such a predictable pass, but it's blocked by Hooper. Great, great, great. And, you know, up by 33 right now, and the bench is still showing a little bit of enthusiasm, so just to show you the man, that was interesting. Man. And Kirby trying to hold the ball out as the clock is
And they're gonna
over.
let it
As the
die
clock,
out.
yeah, let the clock die out. And number 2 is just trying to
What are you
steal
doing?
the ball from number 55. And this is interesting to see what he can do.
Ooh.
And he
All
misses
right.
the 3, and the game is over. All right, guys. It's been a pretty entertaining night. I'm your host, Makai.
And I'm Will.
And stay tuned for the 7 o'clock matchup. The girls will go against Wilmington from MHS TV Live. The best coverage in Melrose football, Melrose basketball. Have a good night.